Hallmarkies, welcome back to the Hallmarkies Podcast. Today we are back with Feedback Friday. We don't do it that often, but we had to this week. Last week was the Hallmarkies Podcast Awards, and we wanted to talk all about everything that occurred. So I am here with two of my lovely co-hosts, Cami.
Hi!
And Kari.
Hey, everybody.
So we are here to talk about the second annual Hallmarkies Podcast Awards. It was so exciting, so much fun. And
we made it through.
We made it through it, and it was so much bigger than last year, I feel like. But I want to first get Kari's opinion. This is Kari's first year, her first experience. I want to see what you thought. How was your experience? Let us know.
Yeah. You know, it was so interesting because it didn't even feel like it was only your second time. I feel like I came in to such a well-oiled machine. You guys had, you know, the whole spreadsheet and everything that everyone was like, this is what you're presenting. This is who's accepting the award, you know, and I just you just slotted me into what you needed me to do. And so I really came in benefiting from your experience last year. And I was just able to join such a great production and such a fun thing that you guys put together last year. So it was really an honor, really fun to just jump in with you guys and celebrate the Hallmark year that 2020 was. So, I mean, it was amazing. I can't even think of what would make it better next year, but I know we'll talk about a few of those things, but it was so much fun.
Oh, I'm glad you had a good time, a great experience. I do have to say this year, because in 2019, I think Rachel finally approved the idea from me. Like, I think we had like less than 20 days to put it together last year.
That's right. Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And so this year, like I genuinely started planning this like in June because I was like, I'm not doing that again. It is not happening. Like,
Amy, what did you plan? Like, did you say, okay, these are going to be our categories and that type of thing? Like, that's what you were planning?
So mainly like the mid-year survey, that was really important. I really wanted to see that, one, to guide what some of the episodes we did through the end of the year, some of the people we want to be interviewed and stuff like that, but also how I could, you know, make questions and stuff like that. And then putting those discussion posts all over social media, like those were planned specifically so we could see what people liked in different comments throughout different time periods in the year too. It wasn't just at the very end. Like we had questions all year on our social media and stuff. So like those like little things, I always tell everyone, I'm like, answer the questions because we use those. Like those are important.
That was so good of you to do that all throughout the year because it's fresh right then. And you know, you don't go, oh wait, what was that one movie in the spring? Because all you're thinking about is Christmas movies or something. And so that was really, really great idea that you had just all throughout the year.
And I do have to say, like, there were some really, like, we could tell the consistencies because it was like when I asked the question, like, what was the favorite back in, like, I think, like, March. And it was Winter and Veil, and it was still Winter and Veil over the summer, and it was still Winter and Veil in the like, over Christmas. So I'm like, all right, Winter and Veil, people liked it.
Right.
Sure Amazing winter romance got no love. So sad.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, yes. Oh, but yeah, so just, you know, seeing those consistencies, I saw Love in Store a lot. I saw Wedding Every Weekend a lot. Like there was just movies that we saw consistently throughout the year. And I think that helped us when we were doing our nominations and stuff like that, because, you know, those were the ones people kept talking to us about, the ones we kept bringing up on the show too. Like, so yeah.
That's true. And standout performance, things like that, where you're just kind of, oh, they're in it again, or, oh, they're in another movie right now. And some of them were in multiple movies throughout the year. And some of them just had like one amazing standout performance. And we hope to see them come, you know.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah. So, yeah, but we had a lot of fun this year, and we had a lot more time. I definitely want to do it very similar next year. But I know Cami had some fun experiences. Anne does most of our contacting, but Cami did some of the contacting for me as well this year. And so she had some, how was your interesting time contacting some people?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I was in charge of contacting Nikki Deloach and Benjamin Ayers for Cranberry Christmas to see which one of them could do an acceptance speech. I didn't know who I would get, so I emailed both of their agents. And and then I emailed Kevin. I've had a lot of interaction with Kevin in the past, and so I just emailed him directly, said, "Hey, me again. Would you like to do another acceptance speech?" Which he was totally fine doing. And so bless him for that. So anyway, I write to Benjamin Ayers. He had, I think, three contacts. None of them were his own personal email, but I get an email back from his personal email. What the hello? And so he says,
Just like Benjamin Ayers at gmail.com. No,
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that. I can safely say that. But so I was just surprised. I was not expecting him to come straight to me. And so he said, that's so cool. Thank you so much for appreciating Cranberry Christmas, which I did, frankly, so much. But so he said, yeah, let's I'll get you something, I promise. And then I get a very urgent looking email from a man named Craig. And he said, "Hi, Cami, this is Craig, Ben's manager. Can I have a good phone number for you?" I'm like, like, okay. So I emailed him back my phone number. Sure, here you go. And I'm at the park with my children when I get a phone call that says LA. I'm like, oh, shoot.
You knew right away. It was Craig.
So I say, hello. And she said, hello, please hold for Craig. I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going through some really official channels here. And then she goes, "You're on with Craig." I'm like, thank you. He goes, "Hi, Cammy." I'm like, "Hi, Craig." And my kids are trying to get my attention. Mommy. I'm like, shh. So he said, "So tell me about this. What is this event?" And so I start telling him we're a group of 8 women who love the Hallmark Channel, and we do our version of the Emmys, where we give out awards to different actors in different categories. And so I was just emailing to ask if Ben would be willing to do a 30-second acceptance speech. And the more I talked, the more he realized that we were not officially affiliated with Hallmark.
Did he think? He really thought we were affiliated with Hallmark.
He thought he thought that I was a rep from Hallmark trying to get Ben to do this big official event. And I was like, no. And I didn't say we were a group of 8 women. I just said that we were a podcast. And so he said, "So how big is your group? Is it 10 people? Is it 20 people? Is it 100 people?" There's 8 of us. Like, it's just a cute little award show that we do to have some fun, to honor these stars, because they're just as good as Hollywood in our opinion. Yeah. And so I took a call from Benjamin Ayers' manager.
Love that. And you handled it so professionally. You were on, you stated who we were and what we wanted and what we did. I mean, you had such your wits about you. I'm just so proud of you. I know this firsthand because right away you like, "Kari, call me, Kari, you have to give me a call." So I get on, she's like, "You're going to want to hear this." She tells me this whole story, freaking out. And I was like, you deserve to freak out right now. Like, you held it together. Good job.
Thank you, darling. So nice. Because the whole time I was like, breathe, sweaty palms. Okay.
No kidding. I mean, Amy, would you like, you would be able to do it, I think. Like, keep your cool, like know what to say and stuff. But me being the new one, I think I would let me get back to you, Craig.
I do think this year it was pretty funny that how many like managers or reps and stuff either emailed us back or contacted us in some other way and was like, you want us to send our client to an award show during a pandemic? And I was like, no.
I'm sorry, did we not say?
No.
I'm like, it's on YouTube. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
And then Ben and Nikki send us the best acceptance speech ever, which it was so hilarious and so sweet. And then Ben also consented to come on the podcast at another time for an interview. So it all worked out great. It just okay. So here's the big thing. Here's the big thing that I didn't tell you. I got so bold. I figured, heck, I'm on the phone. Might as well. I said, so what's your policy for taking on new clients? He said, well, there's not really a policy. We just every once in a while take on a new client. And I said, and you're based out of LA, right? He said, yeah. I said, too bad I'm in Texas. He said, oh, that is too bad.
My goodness.
You need to network though and ask him to like give you people's names or something.
I should because I am actually trying to get an agent here in Texas. So I should email him back and say, hey, Craig, hook me up, would you, buddy?
Yeah. Cami is our bold one.
Which is funny because I haven't been in the past. You know, I remember the first time that I got an email from a Hall star, straight from a Hall star, and went, I was freaking out. Like, how do I handle this? How do I handle this? And so, but I've been trying. It's been one of my goals since joining the podcast to get myself out there, to do things that scare me, and to recognize that these people are just people, you know, and to just talk to them like they're normal people. And so a lot of times, you know that scene in Bottled with Love when she screams while she pushes send on her phone.
Yes, yes.
That's kind of how I feel sometimes. I go,
I do have to say, that's one of the reasons I appreciate Anne just so much, because I am just so bad at emails. And Anne does a fantastic job, and she's like, yep, I emailed this person, and we're good to go. And I'm like, great. And that is why everyone who I contacted this year for the award show was like, shouldn't I be speaking to Anne? And I was like,
oh, how funny.
I was like, no, but you can if you want to.
That is funny. She really does the podcast a service in that. But she would, you know, she said to me even a couple nights ago, you know, I don't want to speak in front of people. I don't like doing anything like that. But you, Cami, you do like speaking in front of people. You are an actress even. And then Amy, I know with your YouTube channel, you have flexed that muscle and become a professional type in that way. So it's like this podcast really picks each other up in different ways that, you know, one person felt comfortable with one thing, another person does have that skill. And it's so, I mean, an award show like this really highlights that. But also, like you know, took on some contacting that you've never done before and everything. And we still have time to challenge ourselves and everything, but it's really beautiful.
Yeah. Don't ask me to do the merch.
Okay.
That's Kari's thing.
Yeah. I'll do some merch. I mean, I'll try.
We all have our little wheelhouses, and I'm glad because we kind of, we round each other out, which is nice. But we did get some awesome feedback from all of you guys from the podcast. There were so many comments, and like that first day my phone was like blowing up from all the tweets and comments and everything, and we are just so grateful. So thank you to everyone who watched and voted and left a comment or a tweet or anything, DM'd us, anything. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We love seeing it.
Well, and I have to say, this has been a really, really big success because in 3 days, we passed the amount of views that we got all year last year.
Yeah.
Which is pretty darn cool. You know, I mean, that is awesome. And I mean, after the year that we've had, we needed these movies more than ever. And I think that made the award show even more important to have this year than it was last year. And everybody's at home, bored to tears. So why not? Let's watch the Hallmarkies Podcast Award.
Exactly. And it was
had an opinion when they voted because they had actually watched everything that we were asking them to vote
right.
on.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it was I do have to say, we mentioned it in the award show, but I do want to say a thank you and a shout out to the All the Feels girls because they did help me quite a bit this year. They helped me with nomination stuff, and their hosting was fantastic as well. So I do want to say, the All the Feels ladies, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on the podcast and being guests every once in a while. We appreciate you. They went above and beyond helping me as well, so it was nice. I forgot to mention that, but it was just great this year. Everyone who helped, all of our guest hosts, I think I do have to say, Alonzo, thank you, Alonzo Giralde, because I think he did it in 2 hours. I told it to him and he said, it was back to me like that. And also I needed it to edit it in later that day. So he did it perfectly quickly for me. I was like, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, Greg's was fantastic. I literally just sent him the nominees and who won in a DM. I just sent him that and I got this wonderfully edited with music back.
It was so good. It was a mini show in the show is what it was.
Exactly. And I think everyone brings something different to it. And, we have, some people have props, some people go more classy, some people it's great. And it shows all the personalities of everyone we know too, which is fun. And I really think, honestly, everyone just wants to see Greg 24/7 based on some of the comments. It's forget about those girls. We just want Greg.
We should have him win an award next year as well. Present, but also win something. I hope he doesn't listen to this.
We gotta get him to write another Hallmark movie so we can get him nominated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But it was pretty great. Did any, let's, before we get into the comments, did you guys have a favorite, either acceptance or presenter or something?
Well, I already said it, but Nikki and Ben, that was so hilarious, so unexpected, and it even inspired our acceptance speech for best podcast of the year on Deck the Hallmarks podcast. So, it was perfect. It was perfect. And they did a fabulous job, and they came up with all of that completely themselves. And I said when I emailed Ben to thank him, I said, ironically, I do have a certificate for you. It's coming. And he said, oh, I wasn't even expecting anything. I just thought it would be a good gag. So,
oh, shoot.
He said we, because he and Nikki came up with it together. He's like, we just thought it would be a good gag. Nope, I've got a legit certificate for you, sir.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That's
yes.
a good gag with the cranberry wine or whatever.
Champagne, the cranberry champagne. Yeah.
So yeah, I had 3 that I really enjoyed. I love, of course, Nikki and Ben's, but you just mentioned that. But Mary Lou Henner, I loved hers just because it was so fun and funny that she was awarded princess, and I think she was just tickled to pieces that she was princess, and so she gave such a heartfelt acceptance speech. I thought she that was
did.
so sweet. Lacey Chabert was on this year, and I really enjoyed her acceptance speech because it felt really humble and just really sweet, that she would just kind of enter into our little show here and be a part of it. And so those two women I loved. And then the couple, the Damians.
Yes.
Yes, the Damians. They were so precious.
Adorable together, and just accepting the speech and talking over each other and dancing and happy. I mean, they were just too much fun. So I loved them too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I want to have them on the show at some point because they were just adorable.
Oh yeah.
And the two of them did the Christmas waltz. They wrote it, they directed it, like everything. So
yeah.
Love that.
Fantastic. Yeah. That was my favorite, was Michael and Janine. Was awesome. I mean, we also got some good ones. Will Kemp was funny.
Lacey Hot Lips.
Like, oh goodness. Yeah, we got some really, really fun ones. It was great. I love Jess with her Nancy Drew book, because I was recording with her and all of a sudden she's got a Nancy Drew book and this like crime scene tape scarf on, and I was like, this is fantastic. She's prepared. It was great. Yeah, but everyone did such a fantastic job. It was really fun. All right, but let's get into some of the comments. Let's not postpone any longer. So first, we're going to start off with some of the stuff we got on Instagram. Some of these were comments, some were DMs, some were responses to one of the stories I posted. So there's a ton of stuff here. So CatJoy9 on Instagram said that she loved it, and she especially loved Tyler Hines. That is a consistent theme with the comments we got, is that everyone loves Tyler Hines.
Well, and I mean, you can't help but, because Tyler Hines is just such a doll. I mean, for him to write all of our names on his hand to make sure that he thanked all of us, I was like, Tyler Hines wrote my name on his hand.
Oh my goodness, awesome. I know, that was really awesome. I mean, we've talked about this before too, though, and it doesn't take much really for a star, when they shout out or they do something special like that and they do a little thing, to get a fan for life. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, awesome. Love him. King, sure. All the time,
Yeah, absolutely.
So then we got some responses on Instagram. Do you want to read this one from Starwatch Byline?
Yeah. Loved them. I especially loved the integration of acceptance by actors with the hosts. Fun. And let's see, Mackie Unson, I think is so she said something along those same lines. The delightful acceptance speeches brightened my day. What a great award show. So.
Yeah, it was so. Thank you. So nice. And Starwatch Byline as well on Instagram. She always promotes our stuff, and it's really nice. Or that group. I know there's more than one person who works on it, but they always promote our stuff, and I'm really appreciative of that. Like we do. We're so thankful for everyone who shares or listens or even acknowledges our existence. We're appreciative of. Yeah. So then we did get a comment, and we got a couple comments like this about limiting the amount of times people can vote. And I do have to say, this year we did see people voting a lot or more consistently than in the past. And we are going to make some changes and improve next year to make sure maybe only people can vote once a day, or you can only vote once for the whole 7 days that we have voting open. We are looking at different things, and we have a whole nother year to make improvements and make changes and add or subtract things. I mean, this year compared to 2019 to 2020, we had to make some changes and improvements because we didn't have as many TV shows this year. So I cut down on the TV show awards because we only got Good Witch and When Calls the Heart in 2020. Whereas in 2019, we had 5 TV shows, I believe. We had Chesapeake Shores, When Hope Calls, When Calls the Heart, the Pete's one, Home and well, I mean, technically we had Home and Family this year too. We had more shows in 2019 than we did in 2020. So we had to alter that. And I'm sure in 2021, depending what comes out, we're going to have to alter the categories and stuff again as well. So things are going to be changed. Things are going to be improved. and I'm excited to start working on it. I'm not going to start working on it now.
She needs a break.
Yeah. I need a nap. But
the Hallmarkies Podcast Awards for Amy is like Christmas for Santa Claus.
Sitting here and I did my final edit and I was like, I am not cooking. So I DoorDashed myself pancakes. And it's rendering and I'm eating pancakes in my bed.
Yeah. Plus you got sick like in the middle of it too, didn't you? And you had to do some some recording with us, and because we would get online with you and have a Zoom call, and you would record us so that you could have that and edit it into an actual show. But you were sick, and that was just such unfortunate timing, but you pulled it off.
Yeah, during the process, I was sick. Caroline got sick towards the end of it, and we had other issues. I mean, I thought I wasn't going to be able to do the awards at all because my computer went kaput in December. And they told me originally I wasn't going to have my computer back until like now. So I think was December when I said to everyone, I'm like, someone else is going to have to take this over or it's not going to happen because I don't have a computer.
And I think if I remember right, Rachel said, oh, we can postpone it until you get your computer back. Because you're just so good at editing this, putting it all together. No one else wanted to like do that part of it. She's like, I think we can wait until you get your computer back.
Just wait.
But you got it back early.
Yeah. Shout out to Carlos at the place I took my computer because he got it back to me in like a week and a half, not 4 months or whatever they told me it was going to be.
And we think Carlos thought you were cute, probably. And that's probably why. We're pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
It was a Hallmark movie in the making.
Rush job to get in good with the pretty girl.
I'm hoping I do not have to see Carlos again anytime soon.
Because of the computer, not because of Carlos, right?
Yeah, because of the computer. I don't want to frequent the computer repair shop again anytime soon.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have this really nice comment from Mackie, our friend Mackie. Should I read that or some of that?
Yeah, can you read some of her DMs, some of her sweet stuff she said?
Yeah, she said so sweet here. She said, it was my first time to vote at the Hallmarkies Awards, and it was a treat to watch many of my picks, delightful acceptance speeches. Kudos on the terrific award show that celebrated what we love most about Hallmark. She said, I clear my schedule for the premiere of any movie written by Nina Weinman. So I was elated to hear her win an award. I can't wait to enjoy many more movies of hers that feature winsome and ambitious female leads. Aida is my favorite character in the Aurora Teagarden mysteries. So Mary Lou Henner's speech was delightful, which is so true. I mean, we echo so many of what her sentiments were, but thank you, Mackie, for that.
Yes. Yeah. And her DM was very long and very sweet. And it was very nice. But yeah, Nina, this was her second year in a row. So she just, keeps writing some good ones. And hasn't she written one already for 2021? So then we have this one here. We got a message today from Geraldine. She comments and messages us all the time. And she says, it was so much fun. Love Nikki and Ben's acceptance video. Too cute or too funny. Yeah. We love Nikki and Ben. Thank you to Nikki and Ben. So great. So great. Yeah. So those are some of the comments we got on Instagram. But before we continue, I wanted to do something special as a thank you because I know I had so much help this year and you guys all just did a fantastic job. So I wanted something for all the hosts, and I think I'm also going to send these to the other people who presented awards this year because I did get so much help from so many people, and I'm so appreciative. But I had one of my friends, John. He just recently opened an Etsy shop. He makes stickers, and so it's called Happy Joy Designs on Etsy. And so I asked him, I'm like, hey, can you do something? Like I sent him our logo and I was like, can you just do something simple that I can send the girls as a thank you and like a Valentine's Day gift? So I don't have them physically yet. He sent me a like thing. So we all are going to get our own little award sticker.
Oh my gosh, that's an award. I'm so excited, Amy. Thank you.
And yeah, so thank you, John, for doing this for me. I so appreciate it. And I'll like link his Etsy in the description and stuff because he drew this for me. But just
good idea.
But yeah, thank you. And I just wanted to say thank you to all you guys. I thought you all deserved an award. So yeah, and I'm gonna have a couple extras. I had him make me a few extras. So I am in the next week. Keep a lookout on our Instagram. I'm gonna give a couple away on Instagram for some of the people who watch and support us, and I appreciate that. And then, you know, if any of the actors, I guess, or anything want one as well, if they contact me, I can always mail one out as well. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much and have you have a little memory because it says second annual on it. And yeah.
Oh man.
Really thoughtful, Amy. Thank you so much. That was so thoughtful. That would be fun to give that out to the, I don't know if the accepted, like someone who accepted an award, if they wanted a sticker even just to go along with what did we give them?
We emailed them their certificates.
Yes, the certificates. That would be awesome. But I'm just gonna put it right by my desk. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Kevin can put it on his Mountie cup.
That's great. Yeah, so I wanted to just do a little something for us to remember it by, and like I think in the future we'll do it like kind of maybe something a little bit for every year, so we have a little memory. But before we continue, I do have another. We have a voicemail from a fan. So let me pull it up here.
Oh my gosh, I am such a fan of you ladies. I just had to call and tell you this is the best podcast I have ever listened to, and I can't wait for more. Love you ladies. Bye.
Such a great voicemail from one of our biggest fans, and I'm just so grateful. I played that mainly to remind everyone, if you do want to send us feedback or feedback on one of the movies that you see or an episode of the TV show or something, we do have a voicemail line. The number is always in the description, and you can call and leave voicemails anytime you want. That lovely voicemail was provided to us by Kami.
Thank you, Kami. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Every once know if you were gonna reveal it or not.
every once in a while we have to have someone call it, or we have to call from it or text from that number to make sure we can keep the number. So Kami did that for us today. But yeah, I will leave it's in the description of all of our videos, the phone number, and you can call and leave a voicemail anytime, and we might add it to an episode or something. If we get it more consistently, maybe we can add it to the main episodes and stuff as well. But yeah, if you go ahead, call us, leave us a message. We will, I get a notification on my phone and I always go, oh, what is this? What? So I love it. It's a surprise for me. But yes, so thank you, Kami, for our voicemail. We appreciate you.
You're so welcome.
All right, so now we have some comments from the YouTube video. So someone want to go ahead and read the first comment here?
It's Rachel and all the lovely ladies who brought this together. The awards were all deserved, especially those that went to the Christmas Waltz, my favorite. It was nice to see people who brought this movie together. Also to Tyler Hynes and Andrew Walker, all of your hard work are much appreciated. Thank you so much for that comment. That's so sweet to enjoy what was produced, but also thank the people who put it together, like Amy and us. So so sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. We got another comment from Rebecca on YouTube. Again, just saying, Tyler Hynes, King of Hallmark, winning 2 years in a row. You deserve it. Also, congrats to Andrew Walker for being on the best podcast episode. Yes. Again, everyone loves Andrew Walker. Loves it. Yes. Okay. Well, and then this one here.
From Pia Trinidad Sprague, I think. She's a big time Hardy. So I've had a lot of interaction with her on Twitter through the Hardy's hotline and through our rewatches of When Calls the Heart. So she's awesome. Great job, ladies. There must be so much work. See, that's the other thing. Not only do they say thank you, but they acknowledge that this was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And that's just always nice. It's like watching a movie. We as the viewers do not realize just how much work it goes into making a movie. And so it's just always so sweet when they acknowledge this must have been a lot of work. So thank you, Pia. There must be so much work and coordination to put this together, and we appreciate it. Not just this award show, but for all the podcasts you do all year. Thank you, Pia. We love you.
Yes.
Well, I have one here from Stephanie Walker. She says, Greg McBride steals the show again. Love it. So yes, we think the same thing, Stephanie. We love when he participates because he just goes above and beyond for us. So
we get a full-blown Hallmark movie in in a little 5-minute segment, you know.
And truly the star, I should have said this at the beginning when you asked us some of our favorite presenters or acceptance, speeches, but Latte, his dog, was just so cooperative. I mean, she hit the mark on those kisses every time they were supposed to kiss. I just thought Latte was awesome.
Yeah, he's
What did Greg spread? What did he spread on him?
He just kind of, they practiced. I don't know what they did, but they hit it.
Yeah, I think Latte's just a lover, He's just a lover. He's the cutest dog, honestly. Like if you don't follow Greg on like Instagram or whatever, just go follow him for Latte and then their cat Shelby. Fantastic animal content on his Instagram. Yeah, so then we have a final comment here, and I think this is about Cami. So this is funny.
This is from Michael Stella. I thought the award show was very enjoyable. Watched the whole thing, which for a guy, that's saying a lot right there. Yeah. So thank you, Michael. Watched the whole thing. Favorite thing was hearing from the winners. Best one was with Nikki DeLoach and Benjamin Ayers. She's great with anything she does. Best presenter was Cami. Not sure I'd do too much different next year. Michael, I was moved to tears when I read this. So that was so incredibly sweet. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah, that was so sweet. We got so many great comments from so many people, and I'm so appreciative. I think I tweeted like last week, like just seeing how many people were enjoying it, like it just made my heart full. My heart was happy.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate that. I do want us to talk a little bit about, because we have gotten some questions and stuff about it, is we did get recognized this year in a big way. We got recognized by Deck the Hallmark on their Deckies Awards for best Hallmark podcast, which I think is funny. And I do have to say that I don't think anybody knows this, but in 2019, when we originally did what categories we were going to do, I had originally suggested, and I'm like, oh, maybe we should pit ourselves against Deck the Hallmark and Bubbly Sesh and see who wins. And everyone was like, no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. And I'm like, okay, we won't. Like, I scrapped that idea. I was like, oh, that was a dumb idea. and then it happened anyways this year, but not on our show. So I just thought that was so funny. I was like, that was genuinely an idea back in 2019, but we scrapped it real fast. So it was just like,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. But yeah, when we got the chance to be on the Deckies, and that was so much fun. And I know they put it together really quickly. And yeah, we got to be really sassy. I think everyone thinks us were like nice. We're very, I believe
very nice.
But yeah, we do get to be a bit sassy, and
there's a bit of spice in there.
Yeah, but, like it was Deck the Hallmark. Like they make fun of Hallmark movies and stuff all the time. So we're like, well, we've got we've got to pull the jokes in. We've got to amp it up. And Casey was able to write us a really great script. So we can make fun of them. And I'll leave the link. I have a YouTube video of us, our acceptance video. I'll leave the link to that in the description if you didn't get to see us being a little bit more sassy and spicy than we normally are on Hallmark.
It was so funny.
I think there's like an invitation from them to be a little sassy back. Like
completely.
They welcome that. That's their humor. That was really fun though, to be on their show as the winners of the Best Hallmark podcast, because that it's their show. Like that was just so funny. So what an honor it was for us, but then just to like talk about our podcast as well. I mean, there really is a lot of love between all these podcasts who, we talk about the same thing. We review the same movies, we interview the same stars, all of that. But there's just so much love there. And we want the goodness to spread around. There's no territorial things happening. So that was just a really sweet way to acknowledge that between the podcasts.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Lots of fun there. Very funny. I mean, I've met the Deck the Hallmark guys, and they're great guys in real life and everything. I have a signed t-shirt, Deck the Hallmark t-shirt.
Oh, joy.
I'm such a fangirl. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, it was very great. When Rachel sent us the message, I was like, what's happening? I was like, wait, back up. You're gonna have to explain this.
Yeah, because I mean their whole thing is a joke. Jokesters, and so they're gonna even pull jokes on themselves and highlight another podcast. So fun.
Yeah, it's great. It was really funny. So
and they played it off as a joke on them, which was really funny to watch, because they're reading off the list of the nominees, and they Deck the Hallmark, trying to do this mock humility of reading off their name in the nominations, and then they start to stand up as if to accept the award. Hallmarkies Podcast, what? Our own fans.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
and I mean, we're heading into, this summer will be our fourth 4 years that this podcast existed. And we've changed so much. We've grown, obviously. Like, there's so much we do that we didn't in the beginning, and now we do everything. And it's great and fun. It was really nice to be recognized and get some love from the Deck the Hallmarks fans too. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah. So before we sign off for today, was there any final things you'd like to say about the awards, either of you?
I did feel very sorry for our dear friend Christopher Palaha. He even emailed asking who dethroned me.
He was the king. He was the Mystery King. That's who he was.
Mystery King. Yeah. Mystery King. Like, all right, who was it? Who dethroned me?
Sorry, Chris. You gotta amp up your game this year on Mystery 101.
Okay, but can I just say, because I love both of them. I love Christopher Palaha and I love Niall Mater. But I gotta tell you, a proposal of marriage is gonna trump a first kiss. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, we're just setting some advice out here from the Mystery 101 writers in 2021.
Right. They're taking their time over here with Travis, Amy. They're taking their time. Yeah, that was super fun. I mean, it was just a blast to put this together, to have the stars do their acceptance speeches, to have the directors do his acceptance speech, to have the non-Hallmark movie director do his acceptance speech. And I mean, just the whole thing, you just felt the love. You felt the love that you feel like they probably all feel in the Hallmark universe as they're making these movies together, and they just love each other, they honor each other, they love working together. And then to like kind of get in on that a little bit was really special, I think. And it's just fun. Like you said, in a year that we needed Hallmark in this way, they showed up. Even for this.
They did.
So I was really pleased with that.
Yeah.
Well, and none of us are going anywhere. So what a great excuse to get dressed up, at least from the waist up. You know?
Right. When you said that, Cami, none of us are going anywhere. I wanted to joke and be like, "Oh, I didn't tell you I'm leaving the podcast next week."
Oh no, I meant going out.
I was like, okay. Oh, someone didn't send Cami the email.
I missed that memo. All right, Amy, am I taking over your job? Because yikes.
I'm sure you could.
Sure, you could. I'm not sure any of us could. Amy.
Oh, goodness. Oh, all right. Well, before I send myself into a laughing fit here, just again, thank you to everybody who helped, participated, everything. We love you all. Send you so much love. We appreciate it. It's just great. I know I said the word appreciate about 12 times in the actual award show when I was editing it. I just heard that. I was like, girl, stop saying the word appreciate it. They get it. But yeah, it was great. So all right, so let's sign off. Cami, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cami Drama Girl. Cami is spelled Kami. On Facebook, the Hooked Hardy Facebook page. My blog is hookedhardy.com. And you can also find me on Deliver Me a Podcast and Hardy's Hotline. So come on over and take a listen.
Nice. Kari, what about you?
Yeah, I'd love to interact with you guys on Instagram over at Hallmark Comics. That's Hallmark_comics.
Yes.
And she draws some really funny comics.
Yes, definitely. You can find me YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at It's Amy Craig. And before we sign off, I just want to do a big blanket shout out. We have so many offsets and different things of the show that I want everyone to make sure know. We have this main show. We have Hallmarkies. There is Deliver Me a Podcast, Hardy's Hotline. We do Once Upon an Upside. Rachel does her own podcasts. Cami creates content. Casey creates content. Jess has her blog. Cami has her blog. I have my YouTube channel. I'm trying to think, but we all of us separately, we make our own content, and we all have things that we are passionate about that you can go and check out anytime. All of our links are in the descriptions of our episodes, or they're on our website, and you can go see us anytime, what we're getting up to. And we don't always talk about Hallmark on everything we do as well. There's other things we love and appreciate and do also. So if you want to go see any of us, and not just the three of us, but Anne and Jess and Caroline and Rachel and Casey and all of us, you can go check it out, go look and see what everyone is up to. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff going on that is beyond the podcast as well. So yeah, thank you so much for listening and watching, and we will see you all very soon. Bye, everybody.